All right, what is up today, YouTube? It's your boy Steve, and today on Vast Motorsports, we're going to do something a little different. We are fixing a Dometic toilet in a camper or RV. And so this is in my 2013 fifth wheel camper. And what's happening is sometimes I walk into the bathroom and there will be a little bit of water around the where the base of the toilet meets the floor. Of course, sometimes you go to thinking, oh man, the wax ring is leaking between the toilet and the floor. RVs and campers are not set up like that. They don't use a wax ring like a home would. So what happens is the end of the toilet is shaped to go down inside the pipe, and so chances of it leaking there are very slim to none. So what happens is I actually caught it the other night. I came in, hit the pedal down a little bit to let some water into the bowl, and it did this loud psh spray like there was almost too much pressure in the line or something, even though I had a little regulator on the hose outside. It's just the way it acted. And then next thing I knew, I looked down and there was a puddle of water on the floor. So that's the first time that's happened that bad, and it let me know right then for sure it was the valve. I already had a valve sitting here that I just haven't put on yet because they do go bad, and so I wanted a spare in the bottom down there. And my toilet would run a little. Let me show you here. So what would happen is, as you can see, it's got these little holes where the water comes out. Well, when you push the pedal down over here to let the water in, which I just turned the water off, a little bit comes, it'll spray around it. But when you let off, that water should stop. Well, mine would keep trickling, so I knew that valve was bypassing and that it was going to need to be replaced. And so what's happening is there's only supposed to be a little bit of water in the bottom there to cover the flap so no fumes or anything comes in. But when it starts getting that much water in there, something's wrong. When it sits for 30 minutes or an hour, enough would leak down. So that's getting bad, because what happened is you might leave to go do something and it could just keep on flowing until it gets up enough to where it flows out on the floor, and we definitely don't want that. So what's happening is on my valve, this little button on the end that engages the valve inside, the O-ring somewhere in here must have finally started leaking, and that's why every once in a while there'll be a little bit of water down here on the base. So let's go ahead and switch this out. And as you can see, it comes with the new clamp here for the hose that goes up to the bowl, or I'm going to call it the bowl. And we've got a couple screws in here to help hold it in. I brought my channel locks just for the heck of it. I don't think I'll need them. It's supposed to be hand tight, but I brought them anyway because I don't want to walk back down to the shop. Stubby Phillips to get the screws in and out. Flathead, because the factory clamp on the hose is a band clamp, and not everybody's got a big pair of dikes heavy duty enough to cut that. So anybody with a small screwdriver, you just stick it in where the crimp part is, move it around a little, maybe twist it or something, get that clamp to expand a little, and then you can just unhook it and throw that one away. And a 1/4-inch socket or a nut driver, whatever you got handy. I just happen to have sockets, of course, in the shop there. So let's get started on this little project. Alright, so I don't have the best light set up. Sorry about that, folks. There might be some shadows and stuff, but anyway, I want to try to just show you the general idea. It's pretty easy to switch out. So take an old towel, just kind of stuff it around here because you're going to get a little bit of water from these tubes. Go ahead and hit this, let out as much pressure as you can. This is a fifth wheel, so the toilet's up high. Down in the lower section outside, I went ahead and opened up the cold side on the shower outside, and that way it kind of let most of the water drain down. So as you can see, that was just finger tight. We're going to undo this main hose here. We do have a lot of water still, so that's why I have that towel handy. We're going to let this one on out. And one thing I can notice right now, I can tell you, is somebody's already replaced this, because they've already switched. It's got a worm clamp on it with the quarter. Instead of it having the band clamp like this one, this is the factory style band clamp I was talking about. Now you can either cut it off, or you can take a screwdriver or a pick and stick it in there, like I said, wiggle it, get that to open up, and then it'll come off. But this one, just got this worm clamp on here. Give that a twist and see if we can pull it off here. More water, of course. Get my towel. Try to dry this up real quick. Got more water coming out here, so we'll get that up a little. Alright, luckily the wife was outside. I got her to turn on that shower spigot again, because when I turned off the main valve coming into the camper over there at the hose, it must be just barely on a little, because this one never stopped flowing. It just had a little coming out, enough to make a mess, so we don't want that. Now, another reason I know this one's been changed, I felt back here, there are no screws. Somebody's already taken the screws out before when they switched it and left them out. So now what we're going to do is, it's got these two little tabs here. Just push down on it. Well, come on, baby. There's that one. And that one. As you can see, it's just got these tabs. You got to get them to go up a little, and being careful not to chip anything on the plastic there. You don't want to break anything. So what happened is, this one inside here, there's a valve that stops the water flow going in that goes up to the thing, to the bowl. And obviously it's gotten either dirty or the O-ring's going bad, because it was letting it flow real slow up there. Now my problem now, what I'm having is the O-ring here that seals this off when you push it in has to be going bad. That's why sometimes it would squirt out onto the floor. And that's no bueno, folks. Alright, so we're going to have to take a look here. Match it up, make sure everything looks the same lengthwise, and it does, because I could see these are a little different design than this. That's why it was so hard to get it to press in. These are easier. So anyway, just make sure it's kind of lined up straight, because there is a small hole in there. Just click it right in. There's a hole for this to go into. It clicked in, popped in. Now this one is definitely looser, the way they have those made, so I'm going to put the screws in. I can see why they didn't even bother with that one. It wasn't like it was just going to come out. So I'm going to at least put one screw in there. You just kind of got a feel for it back here. Now, a valve is not going to just come out because those little ears, but the screw will just ensure that it doesn't just wiggle around and move around a lot, stuff like that. Snug it up good, don't over tighten it. Now we've got no movement, no play. I'm just going to reuse that clamp they had. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not even going that tight. I'm going to put it where you can get to this, of course, but I want it on the bottom where it's down here instead of it up top. And then, you know, which I really couldn't see it before anyway. It's not that important. That's just me, because it's a habit of mine working on cars all my life. Cars, boats, bikes, whatever, anything mechanical. As you can see on my channel, I like messing with stuff and restoring stuff. which actually, if you're not already subscribed, I hope you take a second to maybe give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel. I'm always trying to get it to grow, you know. Little channel, I need her to grow. So anyway, just snug that up decent. You ain't got to get all nuts with it. Just line this up, make sure it's straight. When you go to start putting it on, it should be nice and easy. If it's trying to cross threads, stop, take it off, and start all over. You do not want to cross thread them plastic threads. Okay, and that's that. So now we're going to just dry everything up real good, make sure there's no water on the floor. I'm going to go out, turn the valve on, we'll come back in and check on it. Alright, so I went out and turned on the water, I come back in, I had everything dry, so I'm taking my hand and I'm feeling for any leaks. I don't feel anything. So I think we're good there. Let's see if she works now. Taking a minute to get the air out of the system. Okay. So far so good. It doesn't appear to be running. Yeah, a little bit is. Yeah, she's still running a little. I'll give it a little bit to make sure. See if the valve breaks in a little. Sometimes it might need to get wet to get broken in. But as you can see, we've got no leaks, nothing spraying on the floor, so that's a good win there. Now this particular model has this extra hose coming off. Not all of them have this. This is a high-end RV. So it's got the little, I don't want to call it a bazooka thing, but that's, I guess, for cleaning out the bowl and stuff when you want to clean the toilet. So it does have that little thing on the wall there, and the hose comes up and attaches up here, so most you won't have to worry about that. Most of them do not have that. So anyway, alright, we got our little job done. Thank you for joining Vast Motorsports on this little adventure of cleaning the pooper, fixing the valve. You're welcome, babe. We'll see you on the next one, y'all.